Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in our top stories today from the New York Post, my guy, Hunter Biden partner Devon Archer says Joe Biden was on calls with foreign patrons for the brand. So it makes one wonder, as we do here on the BuzWeaver channel, taking the difficult, taking the complicated, taking the tumult, taking the confusion, trying to break it all down into simple terms. But now we have a very interesting tangled web that the establishment uniparty is going to have to deal with. And how are they going to go about damage control when we have individuals like Devon Archer that are coming forward? And of course, as we understand it from Marjorie Taylor Greene, Devon Archer and his attorneys canceled various times to appear to the Oversight Committee because, of course, they wanted levels of immunity. And that's the way a lot of this works is, I do this deal, you do that deal. We give you immunity for this if you admit to this and admit to that, and we'll excuse you of this if you excuse you of that. So it's getting quite interesting, to say the least, what all the establishment is going to do. Of course, we have some ideas. We'll get into that here momentarily. Washington. Former Hunter Biden business partner Devon Archer told Congress Monday that Hunter referred to President Biden as "my guy," while connecting his dad to foreign associates nearly 24 times as Republicans move closer to starting an impeachment inquiry. Now, I don't know how far the Democrats or the Republicans are going to go, to be totally honest with you, because there are just as many establishment-appointed plants in the Republican Party and or the GOP, as one could argue, or that are in the Democrat Party. So I am very curious to see if the Republicans, the GOP, are going to move into any direction when it comes to impeachment inquiries. Archer said during a 4-hour House Oversight Committee interview that Ukraine natural gas company BuzWeaver Holdings paid Hunter up to $1 million per year to serve on its board because of his family's brand. And of course, as everyone knows, Hunter has no concept of this industry whatsoever. None. He just simply is the son of the vice president at that time. Archer met with then Vice President Joe Biden on April 2014, within days of joining BuzWeaver's board alongside Hunter, and told lawmakers that BuzWeaver would have gone out of business if the brand had not been attached to it, according to a readout from panel Republicans. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is quite extraordinary to think and to imagine what the direction our country is going in, as some have even suggested a possible civil war, considering the back and forth that is currently happening within the Department of Justice, as well as with the GOP oversight committees, and all of the activity that is going on among the political figures. And of course, this testimony by Devon Archer is absolutely extraordinary. This is what the media wanted to completely put under the table. They did not want to talk about this. They did not want to be involved in all this. They wouldn't have to report on it. Now, the New York Post, I'm pretty sure, has no problems with it, as well as Fox News and other conservative-style outlets. But nonetheless, let's see what the legacy media, they must be so distraught over how they're going to report this. But, of course, they will always spin it, and that's why you're here on the BuzWeaver channel, because, as you know, we will take the difficult, we will take the confusion, we will take the tumult, and we'll narrow it down into something digestible so people can understand it. Hunter Biden's former business partner tells Congress about Joe Biden's calls. Now, I want you to pay very close attention to the way all this is worded. Devon Archer, a former business partner of Hunter Biden, gave details about calls between President Biden and his son as he testified to the House Oversight Committee about his business dealings with the younger Biden on Monday. But Republicans and Democrats were at odds over the meaning of this call. Now, look at the language here. They didn't go into the specific number of calls that were made, and they refer to the Biden and his son and to the younger Biden, as opposed to just saying their names. It's just absolutely amazing. Why do they don't just say Joe Biden? I mean, Archer served alongside Hunter Biden on the board of BuzWeaver, a Ukrainian energy company, as you guys know, beginning in 2014, while the elder Biden, whose name is Joe Biden, in case anyone wasn't sure, was vice president and deeply involved in Ukraine policy. Archer is widely believed to have facilitated Hunter Biden's entry into Burisma board. Oh, see how they're doing it? See how they're playing this? They're all trying to say that, oh, poor Hunter Biden was probably manipulated into this, and he had to use his father. He had to contact his father to get information and notifications. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said Archer testified that the value of adding Hunter Biden to Burisma board was the brand, and said that then Vice President Joe Biden, in case anyone didn't know, it's Joe Biden, brought the most value to the brand. He also testified that Burisma would have gone under if not for Joe Biden or the brand, Comer said, adding that the elder Biden, whose name is Joe Biden, was put on the phone to sell the brand. Now, you see how they're doing this, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I have to apologize for some of the little stammering here in the reading, but it's because it's just astounding how the language has changed and the descriptions are changed and how they go about framing all this to make it seem like it's just some passive activity that seemed to have transpired, when in reality, there's obviously crimes going on here. So from Benny Johnson, what we witnessed over the past few days is historic. I couldn't agree more. The Department of Justice literally attempted to intimidate a witness by threatening him with jail time to protect and cover for the Biden crime regime. But the whole plot was exposed on social media, and the Department of Justice was forced to backtrack. The witness was able to testify against the Biden crime regime, and now the whole world will know exactly what a rotten, corrupt bastard Joe Biden truly is. Ladies and gentlemen, you see that the current administration and its empowered and also its weaponized Justice Department with Merrick Garland, who of course is just a bitter old man who was angry that he was passed up for being a Supreme Court justice, and now he's trying to get even because he's just a bitter, angry, resentful human being. And as Tim Pool says, just evil, just straight up evil, doing what they're doing here. Particularly now, of course, we know all this bombshell information. So, of course, as we mentioned earlier, so how is the establishment uniparty going to respond? And we see already, like within a matter of minutes of all this unfolding today, Trump indicted on charges out of special counsel probe into January 6th. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how many times have we covered here where I showed you the article countless times that the Senate acquitted Trump of any involvement in the incitement of January 6th? But, of course, they aren't going to stop there, because it isn't about law. It isn't about justice, right? It isn't about rule of law. It's about them getting what they want, and that is ensuring that Donald Trump is not elected. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted on criminal charges, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction of an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. The indictment alleges, ladies and gentlemen, that Trump spread lies about election fraud to undermine public faith in the election and attempted to persuade members of Congress to delay the certification of the election results, which, of course, this is all speculative. This is all interpretation, just like we saw with Vijaya Gotti, who knew that Donald Trump, what he said, was not incitement. The Senate, the Congress, did not acquit Trump or acquitted Trump, suggesting that he did not incite, but yet they continue to use this language, right? This interpretive language, this reinterpretation of language, which is all speculative, right? It isn't, an indictment isn't a sign of guilt for him being indicted on this stuff. This is absolutely absurd. They don't explain due process. They're not explaining how our process of law works. And of course, they just use this language here as though it's some form of guilt, because as you can see here, Article 2, Section 4, the President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for a conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. And that's what they've been trying to pursue Donald Trump with. But here we have tangible, credible, substantive evidence right here that Joe Biden was involved in business dealings with his son, which is part of the Article 2, Section 4. However, they have to continue to invent things. They have to continue to create things, speculation on Donald Trump, so people will believe that he's some one-dimensional villain. And it's absolutely absurd, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, I want to thank all you guys for your continued support, the likes, the shares, and the comments. Always welcome. You're always welcome to comment down below. And, of course, appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on to subscribe, as well as notifications. And that way you guys will know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.